Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2019 SportTrek 271VMB. This is an awesome rear bath model. It has a ton of storage. You can see it's nice and spacious as well, thanks to the big slide out here, and it has theater seating directly across from the TV. Let's start off though on the kitchen. Obviously you'll spend a lot of time in here doing some prep work for your food. And I like what they've done. They give you plenty of space thanks to having the sink top cover here, as well as a recessed cooktop with the cover there as well. You'll also notice that the countertops are a thermofoil countertop, and so you don't have any, like normal T-mold, a lot of times around the corner, this will pop out. Obviously, you don't have that issue at all. It also allows for the manufacturer to undermount a sink, which gives it a much cleaner look. You'll see the double stainless steel bowl there. It is a deep sink here as well, so it is very usable. A lot of times manufacturers will use a shallow sink to try to save some money. Not the case here. High-rise pull-out faucet as well. Gotta love that. Again, just makes washing and rinsing dishes a little bit easier. And plus, myself personally, I'd like to put my coffee maker right over here, and I have a Keurig. So with this pull-out, all you have to do is just pull it out. You can fill up the water basin right here without having to remove it. It's just a little bit easier. Also, the sink top cover is cutting board quality, so if you want to flip it over, use it as a cutting board, by all means, you can do so. Now, when I said I'd put my coffee maker over here, you also have an electrical outlet right up there, so that is where you would plug that into. And then moving over to this side is your 3-burner cooktop, as I mentioned, with the glass cover. This, of course, folds up and back. You do have a decorative backsplash back there, but this one, is probably the one that's going to get your grease splattered on it, which is fine because the glass is nice and easy to clean. 3-burner cooktop there with your oven underneath. You'll also notice how it has the blue lights around the knobs, just a little extra aesthetic piece. Of course, you can turn that off if you so desire. Taking a look over to the side here, because the sink is in the way, this one is drop down rather than a full-on drawer. But then you have a bank of 3 full extension drawers there. You can see those are nice and large, giving you plenty of space for your flatware, as well as some of your other larger items like spatulas, serving spoons, knives, things like that. Coming right over around to this side, you have a little bit of storage right here too. You also have a plumbing access, of course, but it's not too terrible. You can fit some items in there. And then right here, we'll open this up. This is a little area to hide some of your tech, so you can put your cell phones and things in there. You'll see an electrical outlet as well as dual USB ports up there, so you can charge your phones without having them laying out, cluttering up your countertops. Moving over to this side, open this up for you so you can take a look at that. It does have the shelf built in, which is great for all of your spices. Microwave right next to that, and then your hood underneath with a light and fan. Norcold fridge freezer combo, stainless steel panels on there. We open it up, you can see this boy is nice and big. You have a cutout right there for some of your taller items. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. Before we take a step back in the entertainment center, I do want to take a quick look at our ceiling here just to show you a couple things. LED lights, as you would expect. One cool thing is right above the door. It's not on currently, but you can see that light right there. That's actually a motion censored light. So what you can do is you can turn all the lights off and just have that one set to motion sensor. It has 3 settings: on, so it's just permanently on, off, or motion sensor. But that way when you come in, that obviously will turn on for you, so you have a little entry light, just kind of a neat extra feature there. Ducted AC, this one is prepped for a second, so it has 50 amp power supply, but there's your primary right there. It does have the quick dump option as well, and as I mentioned, ducted throughout the entire camper. You also have a skylight right here helping to let in some natural light during the day. Now moving over to the entertainment center, you have, I believe it's technically a 39-inch TV, but we'll call it a 40 just because that's what more common size in my opinion. But like I said, technically I think it is 39. But that is directly across from theater seating, which is awesome. That's the setup you want, when you're sitting down to watch TV. That way you're not craning your neck. Up top here you have some frosted glass. This goes back quite a ways, as you can see. So, decent storage back there. And then, as you drop down a little bit, you have some cubby holes on either side of the entertainment center. This entertainment center right here is a radio CD player as well as a DVD player, so you can watch a movie. It controls the speakers in here and the ones outside, and it is Bluetooth capable. Right down underneath that is the fireplace. The great thing about a fireplace is not only does it look nice, but it does put out heat. I actually have it on right now. It's a little chilly today, but it's great. It'll do a good job of helping to take the chill off in this main living space a little bit. So that way, if it's a fall day or it's early in the morning, later at night, temp starts to drop a little bit and you don't want to kick your propane on, a lot of times you can turn this on and it just does a pretty decent job. While we're down there, I do want to show you this underneath the fridge real quick. Don't want to miss that. That's a big drawer, folks. It's perfect for your pots and pans. You know, I definitely appreciate it when manufacturers put that in. Right here on the wall is your thermostat. This will control both your ducted AC as well as the ducted heat. You have the heat ducted throughout the entire floor here. Right down underneath is your propane leak detector. Hopefully you never have to hear that. Let's move on back into the bathroom. So some really cool features in here, some things that you don't see in a lot of RVs. We'll start with this one. Obviously, this is something you have to have in every bathroom. That's going to be your toilet. But the nice thing about it is this one is a porcelain bowl, so it is nice and easy to clean. Because it's on an angle, I have plenty of room here for my shoulders as well as my legs. Up on the wall, though, take a look at this. This is really cool. This one comes with the Level Mate Pro. And essentially what this is, folks, is you can connect this via Bluetooth to your smartphone. There's an app you can download, and this will actually help you level out your coach. The reason I really like this is because when you're backing onto your campsite, different spots of the campsite are going to be more level than others. So with this, you can actually watch on your phone or have your navigator have the phone up, and as you're backing up, they can tell you when you're in a nice level spot, so that way you don't have as much leveling work with blocks. So that is a pretty cool feature in my opinion. Right up here in the corner, you have a little bit of space there. You can see, black tank chemicals, toilet paper. It's a good spot for that. But my favorite part about the bathroom is this right here. Take a look at this. You walk in, you have this massive walk-in closet. No, it's not going to be a huge like your walk-in closet at home, but still, for a travel trailer, this is something that you just don't see. You have two hanging racks here for any clothes that you want to store in here. You'll see on this side you have a mirror right up top there, so if you want to kind of come in here and take a look, it gives you more of a full-length picture rather than your standard medicine cabinet mirror. You also have an electrical outlet in here. Obviously, it is lit. You have 3 drawers in here, perfect for some of your underwear, whatever else. Then you also have storage underneath for shoes. So I think this is a pretty cool walk-in closet. Right over here, you have this cutout up top, good spot to put some decorations. Linen closet underneath that, perfect for all of your towels, washcloths, whatever else you need. In this corner is the shower, neo-angle shower. I'll take a step in here for you. The cool thing about this is the doors are in roller tracks, so that way, when you're done showering, you open your door up, all the water goes right down into the shower pan, rather than a swing door where a lot of times it'll drip out onto the floor. Also, you have the hand wand to make showering nice and easy, shelf, then a skylight up top. Folks, I'm 6 foot, and as you can see, I have plenty of space even to the ceiling. Even if you're 6'3", 6'4", you can stand underneath that skylight and you still won't have any problem showering in here. As I take a step out, you'll see the mirrored medicine cabinet right up top there. Down over here, you have your tank monitoring panel. Also next door to that is your electrical outlet. Something worth noting on the monitoring panel here, your water heater does run off both propane and electric. You can turn on both of those at the same time for faster recovery. Same style of countertop that you have in your kitchen. It's that nice thermofoil countertop, so again, you won't have T-mold popping off on you. Big sink in there, and directly underneath is a little more storage as well as access to your P-trap. So we come back out in the main living area, we'll look at the Super Slide. And as I mentioned previously, I love when they're able to put theater seating directly across from a TV. This is what you want. You're able to kick back and relax here. Both of these do recline. They're a little bit wider than normal, which I like. Sometimes you'll sit in like a RV chair or theater seating and it's kind of crushed up on you. Not the case here. It is very comfortable. Thomas Paine collection, so nice stuff here. The material on here is kind of cool too. It's almost like a suede, but it kind of has a fabric look to it. Might be tough to pick up on camera, but I think it's a pretty neat for the 2019 model year. Right here, little storage area for your remotes, cup holder in the center, cup holders on the side. You'll see that the cup holders can light up. They also have the lights underneath, the accent lights there. If you don't want them, you can turn them off just like that. There's a lock on here, so if you have kids, grandkids, whatever, you can lock out the options here so they're not messing with it, because I know that my children definitely would. You have a massage option. Touch that, it's exactly what it says. It'll start massaging you so you can kick back and relax, and folks, it is also heated. Now bear in mind that for this stuff to work, you do have to have either shore power or a generator that you have hooked up running. It's not going to run off your batteries, but that is still a cool feature to have, that heated massage, especially again on a cold day. You'll definitely enjoy it. Right next to that is your dinette. Again, comfortable dinette. You can see the padding on here. They do an excellent job. Excuse me. This is, again, the same style of material that you have in the countertop. It's like a thermoformed tabletop here. This does drop down into a bed too. You just remove these legs, the table will sit right along these rails on both sides, take the back cushions, throw them on top, and that is what your guests will sleep on. Granted, it's not huge, but you know, if an adult wants to curl up, they can. More than likely though, it'll be for a child. Big windows here too, you have to love that. You have windows on the side as well. Not only do those let in a lot of natural light, but the side windows on the slides do open. That's something to pay attention to when you're out shopping for RVs. A lot of manufacturers will put windows on the sides, but the windows won't open. Not the case here. This does allow for cross ventilation. Also, easy access storage, folks. Just like that, you can open this up. And then you have bins just like that you can pull out. The reason I like this, and yes, I know that they're plastic, it's nothing too super incredibly fancy, but it is functional. You can pull those out if you want. You can take them outside, right? Whereas if it's a track, it's stuck in there. But more than anything, you don't have to get down on your hands and knees to access whatever you put in there. So I do enjoy the fact that they put those in. Again, not that it costs the manufacturer a ton, but it's a nice advantage for you. Then if we take a look right here, before the bedroom, you'll see some extra storage on this side. I'll open this up real quick just to kind of give you an idea. While it's not super deep, it's still better than nothing at all. You can again see that right there. More importantly though for me is on the other side right here. So I'll open this up. You'll notice that your control panel is here. So your slide, awning, and then some of your lights. But then underneath, they give you a coat rack. I love when manufacturers do this because, I like to go camping sometimes in the fall, and you're going to want to bring jackets, hats, things like that, scarves. This gives you a spot to hang them up at. When you walk into the bedroom, you'll see the nice big opening here. I appreciate this. A lot of times for travel trailers, it'll be like a little skinny hallway off to the side. Sometimes you have to skirt around the bed. You almost have to walk sideways, but you get the nice big opening right here. There's a blue light up top, just an accent light. Then you also have the double slider doors to close it off at night. That way if you do have any guests, it just gives you that little bit of extra privacy, but I think they did a good job with the entryway here. Moving into the coach itself, you have the queen bed in the center. This does lift up for storage underneath. It is also strut supported, so that makes it very easy to access anything that you store underneath there. Both sides of the bed have wardrobe storage. Not only do you have that monstrous one in the back, but you have the ones on each side of the bed too. And if you're able to see kind of tucked away here on the sides, they have these little shelves. I think this is a great idea. Far too often when manufacturers put in shelves, they have them stick out over the bed, in which case, sometimes you go to sit up or roll over and you hit the shelf. They've tucked them away very nicely, and they're utilizing space that normally doesn't get used. Plus you have electrical outlets on both sides, and one side has dual USB ports, and then you have storage going across the top here as well. Another thing I want to touch on, if you take a look at the ceiling, you have a vent here. But this little sticker shows that this one is pre-wired for a second AC. So if you want a second AC in here, you already have the 50 amp service. It's already braced for it, wired for it, and that's where it'll be installed. Last thing in the bedroom before we head outside, you will see that right here is a backer for your TV, so you know exactly where to mount it, and the connections for that are right up top. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the SportTrek 271VMB. Starting off right up front, this unit does come with a power tongue jack. This makes it a lot easier to hook up and disconnect from your tow vehicle. You simply flip the switch here to raise and lower the tongue, and then it also has a light right up front so you have some extra visibility at night. Also, in the rare event the motor does fail, there is a manual backup there so you're not stuck at the campsite. Two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover. Directly behind that are rails for your battery, where you will also see a battery disconnect is located. So you can just flip that and it will kill power to the coach so you don't have that constant drain on it. Coming up the front here, you have the diamond plating, which helps protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And up above that is your 3/4 front cap. We call it 3/4 because it doesn't wrap over like a full cap, but it still has some depth to it. You can see that right here. Also, it has the LED light that's inlaid there just to help with that aesthetic piece at night. Coming around to the side, this one has solar prep. So if you want solar, all you have to do is buy the portable panels. Those will come with a solar controller. So literally all you have to do is plug it in right here, and it will start to trickle charge your battery. The pass-through has a covered hinge, so that way your hinge isn't rusting out. You have a bunch of rust coming down your door. No one wants that. It also uses the key-alike system. This is actually really cool, folks. If you're not familiar with it, most RVs out there use a 751 key for all of your storage compartments. The problem with the 751 is they are all the exact same. So You know, if someone wants to be a vandal, they want to be a terrible person, they have a 751 key, technically they can go around to most RVs, open them up, and take anything out of your pass-through other storage compartments. With the key alike, that is not the case. The key is individualized to that specific RV, so anything that's in here is much safer. You'll also see that this one is magnetic, so you can put it up there just like so. And if you take a look, it is a big pass-through storage compartment. It is very open. Just like at the front door, you have a motion sensored light in here too, so you can set that to motion, so when you open it up, the light turns on. It just makes it a little bit simpler to get in there. And then your switch for your front cap lights are in there as well. If we take a look right here, this is something else that SportTrek does that most manufacturers do not, and that is each stabilizer jack, while they are power, each one has its own individual control. Most manufacturers will have one switch for the two front ones and one for the two rear ones. Well, things aren't always level side to side, so this just makes it a lot easier. It gives you more control over those stabilizer jacks. Power awning on this coach as well. Just touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. You'll notice that this one has an LED light. It's not currently on, but it does have an LED light there too. So if you want light at night, you can just flip a switch and you're good to go. Comes with the LCI solid steps. This is a great step system. A lot of manufacturers are starting to go to something similar, either the solid step or the step above system by MoRide, and for good reason. They're just, exactly like the name says, a lot more solid. Folks, I weigh over 200 pounds. I can jump up and down on these steps, and they don't flex like your standard ones, so you know, you do feel a lot more safe and secure. It also has aluminum treads, so that those aren't going to rust on you, and you have the grip tape on here, which it doesn't do a ton, but it does give you a little extra traction in case it's wet out. Then they give you the big grab handle here as well, so from the very first step all the way in, you have that control to be able to rely on. This is something new as well. It's added for 2019. You know, I know it's nothing big, but kind of a cool feature. They have their own personalized bottle opener on there, so you know, I know what I'd use that for. Maybe you wouldn't use it at all, but I just think, I just think it's a cool little addition they put on there. New graphics package as well for 2019, a lot more modern. This is something we're seeing more manufacturers do for the 2019 model year, a lot more straight lines rather than the swoops and circles that we're used to. And if you take a look up top, you will see the two outside speakers there. Those are connected to the multimedia center inside, but that unit is Bluetooth capable, so you can be right out here and control it from your cellular device. TV hookups, you have a cable outlet and electrical outlet, so you can hook up a TV. Obviously, if you need to plug anything in, you can use the electrical outlet for whatever. And then right down underneath, if you take a look at those gorgeous wheels, folks, those are aluminum alloy. And just like our steps, the aluminum won't rust, so those will stay looking pretty for years to come. One of my favorite parts about bunk models, and this one, which is a rear bath, is the fact that a lot of times, whoop, the light's not on right there, but a lot of times they give you outside kitchen. So that is something that I love right here. It's exactly what we get. You have the fridge, which, you know, you have the bottle opener, so if you want to put some bottles of beer in there, it's nice and easy to open those up. Obviously, you can use it for soda, water, condiments, whatever else you want. You'll see the sink right over here to the side. You have the little nozzle right there. Pull out 2-burner cooktop here as well. So if you want to do some cooking, you can do some cooking. Now that will hook up to this propane quick connect right here. So there's a little cable, you just plug it in right there. But if you notice, you have a second one right back here. So you have a couple different options. So that way, if you have a grill or something you want to hook up, by all means, you can do that too. And just like we had up front, you have two controls back here for the stabilizer jacks I mentioned, because each one is operated individually. You have the square bumper with the end cap, pop that off, gives you a storage place for your sewer hose. But my favorite part about this bumper is the fact that it comes with the extra rack right here. A lot of people don't realize this, but if you start throwing things on your bumper, especially any kind of rack system, it usually voids your warranty. But because this comes straight from the manufacturer, it's not an issue at all. So you can drop it down, you can use it as a bike rack, you can put totes on there, wood, coolers, whatever else. It's just a great extra thing to have. Right here is your rear mounted ladder. It is a fully walkable roof. It's easy to operate. You essentially pull this up on each side, then it will swing down. Now you do have to drop your rack to be able to get that to fully swing down and lock in place, but then you can climb up onto the roof for any kind of maintenance or get up there, you know, sweep off sticks, leaves, pine cones, whatever else gets up on the roof. Also up top in the center, you will notice the backup camera prep. So if you want a backup camera, having the prep makes it easier to install, meaning it will save you money on labor. Right around to the side here is our cable and satellite inlets. And then on the off door side, outside shower with hot and cold water access, black tank flush. I love when manufacturers have these. You know, a lot of bigger RVs are having them, so again, I appreciate that they put it on here. And essentially what it does is after you're done draining your black tank, there'll be unfortunately stuff left in the bottom of the tank. So with this, you take a hose, hook it up right here. There's sprayers built in. It'll wash out what got left behind. 50 amp detachable power cord plugs in right there. And if we drop down underneath, you will see right here is our termination. The valves for it are tucked away right up top here. You know, this one does have your covered and insulated underbelly, so your valves here are protected as well. That's why they go through the frame. They're behind that insulation to help in the some of the cold temperatures, like late fall camping, things like that. But both your black and gray tank valves are located right there. Lastly, if we come up to the front, we obviously have to have our water connections. The top one here is to fill your fresh water tank. The bottom one is for city water. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2019 SportTrek 271VMB. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.